Just choose one. You've only got about a second to answer. Whatever comes to mind, just shout out loud. All right, ready to go?
I'll give it my best.
Okay. Okay. Old school or new school?
Old school.
Lemon or lime?
Lemon.
Deck of cards or an iPad?
iPad.
Energy or chill?
Chill.
More is more or less is more?
Less is more.
Angles or straight lines?
Straight lines.
Natural food or supplements?
Natural.
Umbrella or hood up?
Hood up.
Early or late?
Early.
Listener or a talker?
In the middle.
Oh, I thrown him off. Every time, the last one always chucks him off. Okay, in the middle.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand on that a little bit more for us, or?
No, I guess. So I guess I'm in my second season at Quins, and I guess at the start, you obviously, you're new. You want to listen to everyone. You've got some, big names, great players there. And for me, I wanted to listen and obviously learn off them as much as possible. But then I guess after a while, once you start playing more and more games and you become more and more confident, and if you see something or you feel something, then to have that confidence to sort of speak and then have that sort of conversation. So no, I think for me, it's about finding that right balance. I think you can get a lot of times these days in, any sport really, from a young age to a high age, people speaking for the sake of speaking. But for me, I think it's important to find that right balance of listening to people. And then if you've got a valid point that you think will help the team or improve the team, then feel free to say it, sort of thing. The game is so simple. If you can, pass off both hands, have a good tackle technique, have a good carrying technique, and do you know what I mean? And have that knowledge about how the game works, I think it would set you up in good stead.
Nice, okay.
Give a few, probably Danny Care and Marcus Smith. I just think what they can do on a rugby pitch, not many people can do. I think you see the way Danny does his little chips and somehow just finds a person straight
Yeah. So him and Smith, is it?
Yeah, and then Marcus, I think what he's done in the game already at such a young age, I think he's only going to go on to do amazing things. To be fair, I think England's only just round the corner for him. So yeah, what he can do as well, he's got great feet. His all-round game is just exceptional. So they're probably the two, and then in the forwards, I just think Rob Shaw, everything that he's about, do you know what I mean? What he's done in the game, what he's still doing. I just think that he's definitely someone that I look up to and try and learn off all the time. I just think the way he carries himself is pretty special. So yeah, they'd be my three who I've played with. Probably 2 points. Like one I mentioned earlier, probably just make sure that your basics are on point. Your passing, your tackling, catching, just your basic from like the fundamental skills of the game are pretty solid. And then for me, I think the one thing I've learned is everyone has that like point of difference. I think you'd say any player in the world and they all have that one thing, they're like X factor, I like to call it. And I just think make sure that you just keep practicing your X factor. So for example, like my X factor would be like my ball carrying. So that's like my point of difference, and my like offloading game. So if you're a good tackler, make sure that you're not missing any tackles. You're knocking people backwards. You're turning the ball over for your team. So everyone has an X factor. Everyone has that one thing that they excel at over other things. So just make sure that you keep practicing that. Because at the end of the day, I think when people ask about getting noticed, it's that point of difference which is going to just put you that 1 inch above other people in the game. For me, I just think playing rugby, for me, I used to play school rugby on a Saturday and then I go and play club rugby on a Sunday. And I think both have played a massive part in where I am today. And I think the relationships you build and having the access to different coaches as well to learn different things is great. So I just to say to people, just play as much as you can, do as much as you can, try and learn as much as you can, and really just stick at it. I think that the older you get, the more you're going to develop naturally. So just keep practicing, keep working hard, and then ultimately, I think if you want it bad, you'll find a way to make it happen. I think.
For you.
Yeah, I think in a training context, it's sort of like you're busting a gut, you're putting 100% effort in, and towards the end of the training, you got 5-10 minutes left, and and you're out on your feet, and all the boys are out on their feet, and you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, I can't do any more. It's a pre-season sesh. It's really hot outside, and you're thinking, oh, I haven't got much in me. And then it's sort of, you've got to just find a way. You just got to dig in. You know, you've got to rally around each other and just find a way to keep putting in that effort, and, you know, get to the end of the session and make sure, you know, the quality at the end of the session is just as good as the quality at the start of the session. And I think with something like that, you've got to have a big group buy-in to that as well. And I think that's one thing that we have at Quins. Everyone's on the same page, and we're all working towards that. So especially in that find a way, that's how I probably relate it to a training context, I think.